In this video, I'm going to show you a very simple Python AI app that you can build as a beginner. The code's going to be in the description below if you want to get it. But the idea behind this app is it allows me to track my workouts. And this app can be used for any kind of tracking if you just modify it. I'll explain how it all works in this video. So if you want to take the code and modify it yourself, you can. So I built this app for myself to track my workouts, but I also built it to explore some AI patterns in Python that I can use with my clients' apps when I work on them. So with that said, let me show you how the app works first, and then I'll go through all the code that works here. So the idea is it's a Telegram bot. So let me go to Telegram and I'll start up my bot. And I can start a conversation with the bots. And the first thing I want to say is hello, right? So it shouldn't be expecting hello. It should be expecting some workout information, like some exercises, but it's going to get back to me asking for workout information. And we see that here. So it's give me an example, bench press 3 sets of 8 reps, 135 pounds. So I'll say today I did squats. The first 2 sets were, let's say 100 pounds for 5 reps. And last set was 200 pounds for 3 reps, right? So that should be enough information for it to log my workout for me. So it's going to go ahead and say workout data saved. Now, if I go over here and I go into my database, so it's SQLite, and I can do select start from workouts. We see that it logged my workouts here. So I have some workouts from the other day. So 250 for squats, but then the ones that I just logged were 100, 100, and then 200, as you just saw. So that's all it does. It also saves the chat history, which I'll talk about in a second. So let's start off with the Telegram part of it. So there's a Telegram bot running. And the reason why I chose Telegram is because I don't actually use it to message people. So I wanted something that was completely separate from the apps that I use to send messages. And Telegram is one that I don't use at all. And it's also easy to connect to. So I know other more popular services like WhatsApp and things like that. There's more setup that you have to do to communicate with it. But with Telegram, it's really easy to get a bot set up and get that all working. So the main code here is this handle text message function here. And really what's happening here is anytime I get a text message, so anything that I send to my Telegram bot through Telegram, it will send a post request to my API/API. I haven't come up with a better API endpoint name. Once I expand this app with other forms of tracking, I guess I can change that name, but for now, it's just /API. And there are 3 things that I'm passing. I'm passing the chat ID, I'm passing the message itself, so that's the most important part, and the thread ID. So the reason why I'm passing the chat ID and the thread ID is because I need a way of keeping track of the conversations over time. So if I wanted to start a separate conversation in Telegram, then the AI could possibly know which conversation it's currently in. And that would make more sense in just a moment. The rest of the stuff here is just Telegram setup code. You'll see that once you grab the code from GitHub in the link in the description below. So let's go over to the Flask app. So I have this routes /API, and all it does is it takes in the data. So it's just JSON data, and then passes it to this process workout conversation function that is a Celery task. So it's passing the chat ID, the message, and the thread ID over to this task. So let's take a look at this task. So I just threw everything in the task. In a real app, I would structure this better, but I just decided to put everything inside of this task. So the first thing that happens is it's selecting the chat, so to see if there is an ongoing conversation. The reason why this is important is because when I'm chatting with the AI, if I decide to tell it like, hey, I did squats today, it will reply, well, how many reps and how many sets did you do, right? It has to be able to refer back to the previous conversation to get all of the data once it saves it. So the idea is once it has all the information, it will save it. So just as an example, I'll say I also did deadlifts, right? So I also did deadlifts, and it should ask for more information. So yeah, it says provide the deadlift details, how many sets, how many reps, and what was the weight. So I'll say 4 sets of 5 with 200. right? So then that should be enough information for it to save. So it says workout data saved. And the only reason why I can do that is because it can go back in the conversation and see that I was originally talking about deadlifts, and then it can combine that with the 4 sets of 5. All right, so let's go back over here. So it's getting the chat if the chat exists along with the thread. So the thread is individual messages that you can send to the same person or bots in Telegram, whereas the chat is like one conversation with one bot, right? So the chat ID should be the same for everything, but the thread ID could be different depending on how I use it. So we get the chat, and then if there's history, or if there's a chat, then it generates history. So the chat information, the message history is saved as JSON. This comes from Pydantic AI, which I'll show you in a second, but it's just loading that same chat JSON and parsing it so we can use it in code. And then if there isn't a chat, it just creates a chat for the first time. And then I have this track workouts markdown file as a prompt. And we see you are an assistant that keeps track of workouts, organize the workout given to you by the user so it can be later stored and tracked. You expect to receive inputs, name, sets, reps, and weights. And then if the user provides incomplete information, ask for clarification. So this is a pretty simple prompt, no examples or anything in here, just a really basic prompt, and it works well with the newer model. So that's why I ask for the additional information if I only say like I did deadlifts, for example. So going back to tasks here, we put the instructions in here, and then we use the OpenAI responses model. I'm using GPT 5.4. So this is for Pydantic AI. The output structure is going to be this output model that I'll show you in a second. We're passing the instructions, and we're passing instrument equals true. The instrument equals true is just so I can see how everything is working in Phoenix, which I'll show you towards the end of this video. So I get the message, which is whatever I typed in the chat, and I send it over to the AI, including any history if it exists, and the model that I'm using, 5.4. And then we get the resulting message. So we basically decode this as JSON and add it to the database. And then in my output structure, which I can show you now. So let's go to models. So I have my database models, so chat and workout. But for my output model, we have this output here, which has sets. And we see it gives me a list of set, which is exercise, reps, and weight. And then follow up into follow up. So to follow up is a Boolean. So that means that the AI needs more information. So that would be set to true. If that's set to true, then follow up should have some value in it. And then this is sent back to the user so they can see what the question is from the AI. So let's go back to tasks. So if there is a follow-up, then I just send it through Telegram, whatever the follow-up message is, to the chat in the thread. If there is no follow-up, meaning the AI has all the information necessary for the workout to be logged, then I just create a workout record in the database and save it, and then I send workout data saved. So here at the bottom, I have the send Telegram chat function, which is just using my API key for Telegram and sending a message to the chat ID, the thread ID, along with the actual text. So let's see what else we have here. Set up LLM telemetry. This is for Phoenix, which I'll show you in just a second. But the models I showed you, chat and workouts. And then we're using Celery to do everything in the background. So the things that I have running here, I have the Telegram bot running. That's one process. Then I have the Flask app running. And then I have Celery running. So all of the actual AI stuff is done in the background. And then I have Phoenix running. And then my database. So let me show you Phoenix. So this is localhost 6006. And Phoenix is just a tool that you can use to trace your LLM calls. So we'll click on this default. And if I look here, we see the information that was sent to the LLM. So this is great for debugging. So on my channel, I've talked about Pydantic Logfire before. So Logfire is what I use for simple examples. For my own purposes and for my clients, I actually use Phoenix because it's self-hosted. And the reason why is because when you have access to the database, then you can do some cool things with allowing non-technical users to also see what the LLM is doing. So you can create something that has the same information in terms of like what's sent to the LLM and what's returned, but you can make something that is much more user friendly. Like this is the technical view of it, so you can see like all the information here, but all this information is stored in a database on my local machine, and I can use this to build another app to make it easy for non-technical users to see what's going on. But as you can see here, it looks just like Logfire in the sense that it has all the same information. So this is what I prefer, and it's really easy to set up. I have this utils function, this setup LLM telemetry that basically handles setting up Phoenix. It's really simple to use. And then in my dunder init, I just have to call the function with app because app has the configuration for everything. And then as far as the configuration, you need the Telegram API key. I have it twice because I'm using it in two different areas. The base URL for the API that's used in the Telegram bot. And then I have my OpenAI API key. I have the location for Phoenix to send the traces, secret key, my database, and then the Celery setup. So that's it for this simple project. So like I said, this is a really good beginner project because it's so simple to do. Like I found like an actual use case for it. So I use it myself because it basically has the same format for workouts as my workout tracker app on my phone, but I want to switch to something else. So this is that something else. So if you want to try this out, like I said, the code is going to be in the description below. If you have any questions about anything that I've done here, let me know. If you have any different patterns that you use that are different from mine, let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in seeing what patterns people use when they're building their own apps with AI in Python or any other language. So let me know. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.